Today we're going to be taking a look at a list that I currently am using right now for my go-to deck list for grinding on the ladder. I find this deck very consistent and powerful, so I've been using it to rank up here lately on the ladder. We're calling this one SIMIC Copy, and we're calling it that because today's build around is Ivy Gleeful Thief. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have seen this card played already and know what it does, but just in case you don't, essentially what it says is that if I target any one of my other creatures on the battlefield, that effect that I target those creatures with is going to be copied and played also onto the Ivy for added benefits and value. This deck works a lot like the old school Magecraft type of builds. We've got some early threats that we're trying to get down, things like Delver, as well as the Fairy Vandal, and then we're going to try to essentially protect those creatures with 1 mana, instant speed spells, things like Shore Up, Tamiyo Safekeeping, keep our creatures alive, and then also what that does is obviously is doubling onto the Ivy, getting those same benefits. And then we're going to grow our creatures over time with things like combat research, because we have things like Fairy Vandal that's going to take advantage of card draw, and then we finish out strong with things like Massive Might to pump our creatures very quickly out of the blue. It's a very fun and consistent build that it consistently gets there, is what I'm trying to say. You're always drawing cards in this deck, so you're always finding what you need, and it has some really creative play lines during the attack step you can do to kind of trick your opponent and maybe remove some things out the battlefield. It's a lot of fun, but also very powerful, and there are some things that I would recommend changing in this deck. I have a better version of it now since I've recorded this video, so stick around to the end for the full deck breakdown if you want to know that information. In the meantime, down below in the links there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, enjoy today's video, guys. We'll see you at the end. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing a Simic build with the Ivy. The build around here today is the Ivy card. It's such a fantastic creature that allows us to get tricky with casting some targetable spells to our creatures like Delver. Ivy will get the copies to those those spells as well, so things like combat research allowing us to double up on the card draw and stuff is going to be super fantastic. There goes our Shore Up though, which is a bit of a bummer, and we decline that. That's tough. That's not good. All right, we send in the Delver, and hopefully the Ivy stays alive. A lot of lands in our hand for a deck that's only running 23 lands. Let's hope that our top decks here get a little bit better. Okay, not really. Not really. Another Ivy. Okay, we're getting Magic the Gathering at the moment. We're hoping for the top of the deck to provide something of value. All right, we are surprisingly going to take our Ivy and sacrifice it because we have the backup. We have the backup Ivy. And okay, they scoop it up. That's very interesting because we did not have a good start there. I'm really happy they scooped that one up, because if they knew that all we had in our hand was mana and nothing super threatening, they would have probably not scooped there, but they didn't like it. They didn't like it. All right, time to find out if this thing can take us all the way to Diamond. We did just get the Platinum Tier 1, so hopefully we can get the job done, man. We are, we're kind of cruising around with this thing. We've been playing it a little bit here and there, and honestly, the win rate on it's pretty solid, so I'm pretty happy so far with how this has been going. But we get to go first with a Delver in hand. You never can be too upset about that. And the bypass will hopefully get us there as far as finding everything we need. This card draws cards extremely quick, so yes, please reveal that. Go bypass right away, which does eliminate the ability to protect itself, but I do like the fact that we can draw some cards and get going on finding what we need. Nice, we're chilling. They give us the ability here to protect ourselves now by letting us on tap, and we get another Shore Up. I'm gonna drop the land. I'm not gonna need that, I don't think. As long as the Fairy Vandal comes in, starts growing off the bypass too, we're gonna be sitting really nice. Opponent on some Rakdos colors, so we know removal's in our future. All right, let's go. Nice, nice. And let's send them both through. There's nothing really threatening us currently, so sending these both through seems like a pretty solid idea. Combat research. That's exactly what we're looking for. And again, another opponent that just cannot handle the heat. We do move very, very quickly with this deck, so it's not a surprise that the opponents are quitting so quickly. All right, hopefully this opponent can hang in there a little bit longer and we can have some more fun. I'd love to see the Ivy come down and we can start copying some of these spells onto it. That'd be great. All right, what do we got here? A bypass with a Fairy Vandal is enough to get the job done. Evolve Sleeper, okay. Let's hope the opponent doesn't have any removal for us here with the colors being looked like mono black, but now Golgari. That's interesting. I think the play here is the Fairy Vandal, though. We could flash it in and make a block if they play out something like a Fight Rigging here, but they don't play anything, which means they can pump up their Evolve Sleeper. So with that being the case, I'm not going to go ahead and send our Fairy Vandal into trouble like that. So we're taking a lot of damage pretty quickly here, though. This could be the exact opposite of what the last game was, which was an absolute quick beatdown. Bypass seems like a solid idea because we can go ahead and connive and draw cards, which will grow our Fairy Vandal extremely fast. We do have Shore Up as well, so that'll be helpful, I guess. I don't like the fact that we're taking as much damage as we are going into this next hit here. Their opponent's already got, you know, quite a juiced up board here, but I do have the ability to Shore Up and on-tap and block, but the problem with that is they both have Death Touch, which is such a bummer. That's such a bummer. The Death Touch is what's going to end up, you know, absolutely crippling us here. Another slip out the back. Okay. I think I'm going to go with another Fairy Vandal here because we are going to draw another card, which is going to pump my Fairy Vandal up a bit. And we can drop a slip out the back. I like getting a land here. And we'll end our turn. We'll end our turn. We may have to use the Shore Up here and make some blocks because they are too threatening at the moment on the board. There's just too much damage. How do we do this? How do we do this? I think I don't know. I think we Shore Up here. They tear us under my security bypass, which is totally fine. Yeah, that's fine. The bypass did its job kind of already. It got the job done. We're going to go ahead and block like so. Like so. And we'll go ahead and primal this, taking care of their Evolved Sleeper. And now we're left with a 6/7 Fairy Vandal, and they're left with a 2/3 body. So hopefully that'll be enough to close this game out. I don't know if it's going to be, but we'll see. Ledger Shredder conniving here seems like a fun idea, but yeah, maybe that's the plan, just so we can get that extra point of damage. This may be a little greedy on my part, but okay, that's a bummer. But at least we get that extra point of damage, like I said. So we're going to swing in here and allow the opponent to dish back a little bit of damage of their own here, but it's fine. Not a big deal. We have Tamiyo Safekeeping, which if they're going to Silax, that's actually a really good card for us to have. This actually might be about as perfect as of a situation as we could have asked for. And we get a double safekeeping. Yeah, this game's over, ladies and gentlemen. We were able to actually pull this off because you know they're going to attack us for 2 here and they're going to Silax for 3. And they're going to be a little bummed out. Or they're going to Silax for 2, I should say. Yikes, they do it before dealing the damage to us too. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. There's the scoop. GG's. Oh man, that was a close one. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very close game. They got off to a really fast start, but I think them lacking the 4th land drop there really kind of screwed them up. But GG. All right, we just might do this, guys. We just might fly to diamond here very quickly. These 3 games have been extremely quick, so shouldn't be too hard here to get to diamond, I don't think. Still not really any Ivy action, I don't think, though. You guys, I don't think you guys gotten a chance to see how good that can be just yet, so. Opening hand here. I mean, I do have the Ledger Shredder. Man, I want to mulligan this so bad, but I just don't think I can. I think it's good enough. It rides that line of good enough that if we, you know, end up mulligan the cards away, we could get something way worse. So I'm gonna go ahead and try my best shot here to see if we can get this to work. We do get a second land drop, which is what I was really hoping for. So now Ledger Shredder can come in on curve, but we're up against Jund, so there could be some removal here. Gosh, man. I'm gonna risk it. This could cost me the entire game. Playing out the Ledger Shredder here a little too early could cost me this entire game, but we're gonna find out here in a second, aren't we? Oh, brother. What are they gonna do here? They tap down to bring in a 3/3. I mean, that is fine by me if that's their big plan for the turn. They get another land and a harvester. Okay, cool. All right, as long as the Ledger Shredder's alive, I am a happy camper. I'm a happy camper. All right, we're gonna drop the other security bypass here, getting a little bit bigger. And we do have Tamiyo safekeeping and a slip out the back, which is fantastic. So I'm hoping that they throw some sort of removal here at me. Nice. Let's go. They were thinking about tapping their harvester there in response, but they can't because it only would have been 2 damage. I don't even think they can do it. Yeah, it's a sorcery speed spell, so they couldn't have done it anyways. All right, let's go with I guess we attack first here and see what happens off the top of the deck. A primal, a massive might. Okay. I think we go with the Ivy here. It's a risky play because that only leaves us with one way to kind of protect our creatures here, but at least it's good enough. We can go Tamiyo safekeeping, give indestructibility here. They throw away a cut down. I did not expect that. That's kind of crazy because that could have answered the Ivy problem, but now they go with the Devils. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. All right, let's see if they attack here. They do. They do attack here. So let's go with Tamiyo safekeeping. Gain that life here. Let's gain that 4 life going to 18. And now we've got an indestructible Ivy here, which can block whatever we want. So I'm going to take out the strongest creature here. I don't care too much about them getting treasures here because they've only got 1 card in hand. So if they got a playable, they got a playable. It is what it is. All right, let's go with... Let's go with an attack here with the Shredder. Again, looking to connive. Combat Research would be really good, man. That's a card I really want in my opening hands all the time. Let's not go Delver, or do we want to go Delver? Yeah, maybe we do go Delver. More bodies might be important here. We'll see. All right, let's end our turn. Now we can Massive Might our Delver, which would then Massive Might our Ivy and give us some decent blocks here against the opponent. We'll see how this next turn pans out. They drop a land, they grab a card. They're on level 3 of Fable, so that flips to Kiki Jiki. All right, just trying to note everything here on board so I don't forget anything. This is not looking good for us. I'm going to be completely honest. This is not looking super stellar at the moment. All right, we're going to slip out the back here on the Ledger Shredder. And I'm actually not going to... I'm not going to target the Ivy on that. Yes, take action on that. We thin out the deck a bit here. And we don't take action on the targeting on the slip out the back. We're going to need that to block. Definitely decline that, thank you. Don't need to be Infernal Grasped. And then the opponent is going to tap and create another attacking land here. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Here we go. We get a 4-3 body and a 3-3 body. We trade out all those. We go ahead and flip. Oh, we don't flip. We get a land. Unbelievable. All right, well, the opponent here, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They don't have lethal, right? So I can put them on a 1-turn clock here. I think I may actually be able to close this game out. We're going to hold on to the land like we have something here. Maybe scare them a little bit here, but they draw a land. That's going to be game. GG's. GG's. Well, actually, they can copy that, can't they? So we're going to have to chump block this, I think. Oh, it comes in as a land, though. Oh, what a bummer. What a bummer. Either way, we were going to chump block with the Delver, so it didn't really matter. And now we go over the top and win the game. That was another really close game there, but my goodness, we closed it out. Love it. All right, absolutely smashing it right now. Going super fast too, which is the thing, man. Like I said, we're going to probably get to diamond with this thing today, I hope. We'll see. We're cruising along. We'll see. I love the Ivy though, man. It's such a cool card. I never got a chance to play it before, so this has been really cool for me. It's an interesting way to play Magic. You got to be really careful about how you do things, but it's really cool. Opening hand is not terrible. There we go. I was gonna say we just need a little bit of help here with some maybe bypass or combat research. Combat research is the real deal. That's the card we really want to be dealing with here. Do we take the extra card? We are gonna be playing a Flash Vandal here, I think, as our play. So could be worth taking a card here. I think I'm going to. And let's drop this. All right. I'm very familiar with the Academy Lore Master, so I'm okay with that extra card being dished out to me there because I had the Flash creature that we're going to be playing here, so we're not going to be hurt by the effects of that extra card and being taxed here. This could get countered. I hope not, but it could definitely get countered. It doesn't. Love to see that. Decline. I could really take advantage of their ability here to give me these extra cards, but I think for the time being, I'm going to decline this one. And Ivy is going to be countered. I can almost guarantee it. If it's not, great. If it is, I can play out the combat research most likely here. So all right, let's hope this hits. They still have a 1-mana spell here. Unbelievable. There's the Fading Hope. That's crazy. All right, well, we get Fading Hoped. We should have just played it slow there. We should have played the Lore Master against them with its ability to give me extra cards and just, have the Fairy Vandal sit there beating him down. That might have been the smarter move. Definitely taking action on that and passing the turn. What a bummer though, man. Fading Hope. Ugh, that's gonna kill us. Fading Hope is gonna kill us. Not to mention all the counter spells they're gonna have here, I'm sure. It's Demir. Wow, okay, so now they're gonna enter the kill spells as well. All right, let's see if this gets countered. It probably will, I would imagine, especially because they see how good it can be with their own sort of ability tied to it. Gosh darn it, man. All right, my turn. Let's get a land. Hopefully it is a land. Perfect. We decline. Ledger Shredder. Does it get countered? That's the big question here. And if it doesn't get countered, does it actually get killed? Let's see. Let's give them the opportunity to kill it. They don't have a kill spell. Okay, so let's play out the Ivy then and see if we can get it to stick here. I think the Massive Might is a card that we're not too concerned about playing just right now, so we might have to pass up on that one. Right now, we're focused more on survival. It is what it is. But we have the creature that can scale upwards a lot faster than they can. The problem, though, I have here is protecting it for another turn or so. They didn't take the extra card there, which is surprising. Do I have anything I want to play this turn? That's the question. Probably not. So let's go and take this extra card. Send this through, say go, and then we Fairy Vandal in, and then we look to maybe protect some stuff here. Connive a little bit. There's some things we can do for sure. They are going to draw cards now, though, with the wolf, which is a bit of a bummer. Let's see if this can stick here. I would imagine it's going to get countered. It's not. Okay. So we could connive. Is connive going to help us here, though? It's probably not. We can block and then slip out the back is probably the best move here, I think. And then we connive. That's a bummer. We were hoping for more spells that we can get it, take advantage of. We take 2, we go down to 10. Things are getting a little bit spicy now. Things are going to get a little tough here. But I do have the bypass, which could, help us out a ton, and getting the Fairy Vandal much, much bigger. My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to take an extra card here. I don't see why that would be a bad thing here in this particular spot, because we can play the bypass for 4 and still have the Tamiyo safekeeping and the Massive Might to cast at instant speed next turn. So let's see what we can do here. Nope, the opponent says no thank you, and going over the top for is actually a really good block here. So I'm gonna go and send the Fairy Vandal. I need to get him closer to dead. I need to kill them very, very quickly here. So I do have Massive Might. I do have safekeeping. Both spells are applicable here. We have 2 green sources, so but I think we just keep drawing that extra card. Really take advantage of the Lore Master. They keep getting extra cards though too, so that is something we have to keep in mind. But it's only 1 per turn because they're trying to play. Oh, they're kidding. There's 2 per turn. All right. All right. Let's go with extra card. Yes, please. All right. Let's try to bypass again. This time on the Fairy Vandal. Gets countered, sure. Gosh, man. Send it on through. We do have Tamiyo safekeeping, which does gain us a bit of life, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to get us there, but I highly, highly doubt it. These things are unblockable, which is what's really killing us here. They put us on a 2-turn clock here by dealing 4 to us, but we have the safekeeping, which buys us a tiny shred of time. And I do have the Massive Might, which could actually surprise them and get us the W in a roundabout way. I hope. All right, and it's a combat research. That's not bad. It's not bad. Let's hope it sticks here. Fading Hope. Gonna force my hand to play this early, which I didn't want to do. Okay, this is it, guys. This is it. Another Fading Hope or a negate. Oh gosh, a negate gets the job done. Gosh darn it. I think that's gonna do it, unfortunately. The negate on that is gonna not allow me to protect my creature. And it gets Fading Hoped. All right. That will do it. And that also loses the ability for us to gain that extra life. So in that case, I can't attack, otherwise this gets through. So, I mean, all we can do here now is hope for the best. We have the Tamiyo safekeeping, so it gains us a bit of life. We don't take 4 damage anymore because it is daytime, so that's helpful. Yeah, this is going to be tricky, tricky, tricky. Tricky, man, tricky. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. They have all the answers at this point. They've got too much mana to work with here, so I'm pretty sure we're toast, but we're not going to take action this time. Let's go ahead and play this out. I can pretty much unload my entire hand here, so that's gonna be the goal. They're gonna force me to play a Tamiyo safekeeping again here, I can already tell. Okay. All right, we protect it with the Tamiyo safekeeping. We also get to connive. I don't know if we drop the other ledger shredder or not. All right, well, that's probably gonna do it. We get to connive though, hopefully finding a protection spell. It's not. They dissipate that. Connive again. We need another slip out the back or Tamiyo safekeeping. It's neither, and they do end up killing my creature, and that'll do it. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunate. That was a tough game though, because our opponent did play a Dimir sort of you know, control deck, and they had a lot of answers for what we were trying to do, so a little bit of a bummer. All right, with a 10-minute loss there, that's probably gonna ixnay the diamond plans, so that's unfortunate, but hopefully in the next video we'll have diamond locked up. Especially need to get it locked up before Brothers War comes out, so we can be in diamond when we explore that new set. That should be a lot of fun. Opening hand here, I get to go first with a ledger shredder and an ivy, so gonna keep it. All right, the opponent's got a savage name here. All right, here we go. Here we go. I need to win this game. This is going to be a very important game here towards the future of Diamond for us. So I need this big win here. Ledger Shredder definitely coming in first because it's the bigger creature with the higher toughness, but also because Ivy's not really any good without another creature down to you know, target our spells on. I do need another land though. Another land would be very, very helpful. There we go. There we go. Ivy, and then do we just go for, I don't know, a slip out the back feature here? Then I don't know. I'm not too sure if I slip out the back here or not. I do want to connive. Like, don't get me wrong. I do want to connive here. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's shore up. Shore up gives the 1/1. I don't know. There's really not a really clean way to do this. I'm gonna go and just pass the turn, I think, here. I think giving the Tamiyo safekeeping on blocking here could be really savage, and we can kind of shut down the opponent. We are gonna lose the ability to block with one of these creatures though. Gosh, I really wish I would have been able to connive there, but it just was super awkward, and I don't think it would have been possible. So it's all good though. Mono red's gonna be tricky. I'm not even too sure how I'm gonna do this, to be honest with you, but all right. So first things first, we gotta kill the firebrand. The firebrand is making it to where we can't block with certain creatures, which is a very big problem. So so first things first, give indestructibility, auto pay, and take action. Yes, we're gonna give indestructibility on both here, give hexproof on both here, and now we can block too, which is super helpful. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kill this first, chump this, or not chump it, but get rid of it as well. And now they're down to two creatures, to our two creatures, and security bypass seems like a fun idea here. We are left with shore up, which could, you know what, let's go ahead and swing in with both here, because we have shore up, which can untap my creatures and force you know, some blocks down the road. Okay, so ledger shredder gone. Fairy vandal, maybe keep that. I think slip out the back's the way to go. All right, so we end our turn. Now we got two creatures that are fairly decently sized. Shore up, which can untap my ledger shredder, which can also untap the ivy. We can make some very good blocks here. They should be only left with a 1/1 and whatever creature they want to cast here now. So, well, that's a bummer, because now they're gonna force this out of my hand early. You hate to see that, because I was hoping to get the jump on them, but now there's no surprise. Now they're not going to attack into us. All right, Ivy can definitely go. We don't need another one of those. All right, things are gonna get interesting here because now we've got to decide whether or not we want to attack with both of these with combat researches on them. Obviously, having two creatures swinging as 4/4 bodies is enough to really press the opponent here and get him close to lethal, but we would really need to draw into something very good that would protect both these creatures from any sort of burn spells, but also we'd want to maybe find another like shore up that we can untap our creatures with to make some blocks with, because the return fire from the opponent could be pretty bad. Is it that important though to worry about? I mean, we're ahead on board and we're ahead on life total. We might just want to go ahead and go for the beatdown. Yeah, it might just be the beatdown play here. Plus I have Fairy Vandal I can flash in if I need to make a block. Maybe we go Fairy Vandal and then combat research. Yeah, maybe we just unload here. I think the plan here is just to unload. Go Fairy Vandal, go combat research on the Ledger Shredder, which then copies to the Ivy. We draw 2 cards, we connive twice, and Fairy Vandal goes up to a 2/3, which is a decent, you know, a decent block here with the board state we're looking at. So I'm pretty okay with that, I think. Hopefully the opponent's not roping us and being a jerk about this. Let's give him a little bit of a year go. There we go. All right, combat research. Connive, we drop the bypass, we get the land. We do need the land here, so that's really, really good. Now we swing in with both of these. Like I said, we draw some cards. Hopefully these cards are protection spells of some sort. Shore up would be the, you know, the best option. There's the scoop. The opponent doesn't want to see any more from us, but those draws were pretty bad. But anyways, we got a really, really good game there against Mono Red. Love that. All right, looks like we got time for 1 or 2 more. I'm very happy with that last game though, man. Mono Red is a tough one to beat, especially when talking about tempo. I would argue that's a pretty bad matchup for us, but man, the shore ups for combat trickery was really, really nice. All right, we can definitely keep this. We have the Delver. Let's hope we can transform. You know how many times I've gotten to Delver on the field and it hasn't transformed like the entirety of the game? It's so frustrating when that happens, but hopefully it just transforms right away and doesn't give us any more headaches. And we can get the bypass on it right away. That'd be great. Tamio safekeeping. Not bad, not bad. Very nice. A transformation has occurred, and I don't see any sort of priority holds from the opponent, so I am going to go with the security bypass. And of course, there is a priority hold now. Does that mean a counter spell, though? Let's probably make disappear. Yeah, that's fair. At least it's not a kill spell, so whatever. I guess we don't get the connive, which is a bummer. I mean, that's a big deal. We could have really ramped up our opportunities going forward, but it's all good. We can beat him down with this simple Delver. All right, we just keep the beatdown going here, I think, and maybe even just drop a slip out the back for the heck of it to speed up the clock a little bit here. Bringing them down to 10, 8, 6, 4. Okay. Yeah. This should be good. This should be really good. I would imagine the opponent doesn't have like a Fading Hope here, but there's a chance they could. So I'm going to wait till the last second here to play the slip out the back. I don't see any reason why they would have that, but you never know. You never know. They are thinking about attacking him with just the one creature. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. They can't block, so they do send it in. Yep, yep. All right, cool. That went by really quick, which means there's no Fading Hope here. Get the 1/1 counter. My turn. Ooh, we get the Ivy. Love that. Love that. All right, they go to 10. And now we've got the Massive Might as a potential win con here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one Massive Might will end the game here. And we do have the protection spell, so this should be over next turn. Yep, that looks like it's going to be GG's if that's going to be their play for the turn. All right, send them on through. Down to 14. Opponent is dead in the water. They do draw a card, though. All right. My turn. And they both get the pump, which means we go to 4 and 6, which is exactly 10. And there's the scoop. GG's, my friend. Ivy with another big win there. Love it. All right, so it looks like one more game for the road. And if I'm not mistaken, this would have been the game for us getting into Diamond had we not lost that one big game. But you know what? At least we know this deck has the capabilities to get us to Diamond if we wanted to. So I'm pretty happy with that. The results are in, and I'm happy. Oof. I mean, the mana is just, I mean, this is perfect. The mana is not. I'm gonna roll the dice here. Honestly, if we lose this game, I don't even care. We're gonna try our best shot here to get this to work, but it's highly unlikely that we're gonna draw the island that we need. It's possible. I don't want to give up too much hope just yet, but it's starting to look pretty bleak. We had 2 shots at it, and looks like we're not gonna get it. So we just may lose this one, unfortunately. Yeah, that's on me. I take full responsibility for this. This was a throwaway game. I just completely kept a really silly hand here. But, I mean, the hand itself was fantastic. I just needed 1 island. That's all. Just 1 island, and wasn't able to get it. They think I'm a mono green deck right now, and they're probably very confused as to why I haven't played anything yet. We have yet to take any damage, though. So, I mean, there is time still. Hey, you never know. You never know. Let's go ahead and get this in here. And yeah, I think this is the play here, because if we can get a double spell next turn, we can connive and hopefully fix this nonsense. We also have the bypass, which can help us connive. So here we go. And that's unfortunate. Okay, still looking for a blue source. Still looking for a blue source, so we can go here and then also maybe shore up. We absolutely deserve this, though. Like I said, we deserve this. This was our own fault. It was a horrible keep on my end, and that'll happen, you know. Gallic Readers gets a little bit bigger. A lot of summoning sickness here, so we're not taking a ton of damage. Still only taking 4 at the moment. So when this takes things from the graveyard, what does it do? Once each turn, you may cast a spell from the top of your library if it shares the card types. Got it. All right, so we have options here, right? So we can either go with the shore up to protect our Ledger Shredder, or we can flash in a Fairy Vandal here. Looks like it's a shore up. That's really annoying. Or I could just replay it. Wait, I can replay. Oh, never mind, not replay it. I can flash the Fairy Vandal in still. Yeah, that's still the play. Okay, so the Fairy Vandal gets flashed in here, and then what? Then we play Ivy and then Security Bypass onto the Fairy Vandal, maybe? I don't know. Oh, okay, it's over. It's over. We're gonna let them do their thing though. But yeah, this is what we call a wrap. What is wrong with me, guys? Why did I keep that hand? I hate mulliganing so much, though. I really do. It's just not a good time to mulligan, and then you just, you know, end up with the worst hand, and then you really regret your decisions. But yeah, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today so far, man. We are still gonna break this thing down after this game, so stick around for that. We'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll show you guys what the deck's all about. But could have blocked here, I guess. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, this has been a really fun video. I've really enjoyed myself, so I'm happy with the results, and that's all that really matters, right? All right, we go and get the double bypass here, and shore up allows us to untap things, so we might as well send this in over the top. Actually, just kidding. Titan of Industry has the ability of flight, pretty much, with the reach. Oh, but I had security bypass. I could have got through. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm just so tilted right now. I'm in full tilt, so it didn't matter. All right, Titan gets through for the 7 on trample. So good game, my friend. Good game. I had to bypass, though. I could have gotten that attack in. I totally forgot that they wouldn't have been able to block anyways, but it's all good, man. It's all good. But you know what? The next deck that we play tomorrow, which I'm going to go ahead and start recording right now, will definitely get us into Diamond. So be on the lookout for that. I will show you guys how and we get into Diamond. It's going to be a really cool deck, by the way. that's going to do it for today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit more in full. But before I do so, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's made it this far. So, into the video. It helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm when you stick around this long. So thank you for being there for me, man, and supporting the channel. I do appreciate that a lot. Even if you didn't know you were supporting the channel, you definitely were. So thank you for that. With that being said, though, let's take a look at today's build because I have some things I wanted to address in this deck. This breakdown shouldn't take too long. I think the idea of this deck is about as simple as it gets. With the Ivy, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. You can obviously make some really trickery type decks. Things like the Duplemency comes to mind because with Ivy, and you have let's see, Duplem. Oh gosh, how do you spell it? Let's just do enchantments 4-drop. Sorry guys, I'm gonna go ahead. This is totally on the fly here, but I'm just kind of talking my way through this. Okay. Yeah, Duplemency. So this card right here is a really cool card that I've seen people try to pair with this. It's an enchantment, obviously, that allows you to copy your creatures whenever you target them with a single spell, right? So it kind of plays the same way as the Ivy. It's a really fun way to kind of, play some magic and do some extra over-the-top stuff. But I really wanted to make a deck that I felt like was just more consistent, powerful. So I leaned more into like that Magecraft type of a build where you tempo out your opponent over time by getting a creature down early and just protect it, because you're going to be doing the same things with the Duplemency as far as the spells you're going to be casting. You want things that are cheap, 1 mana instant speed spells, things that protect your creatures so they can't be removed off the battlefield. And then over time, you're just going to beat down your opponent by flying over the top with some of your great creatures. Obviously, Delver being one of those creatures. Delver's tricky. I like this card a lot, and when it hits, it's so good on turn 1 and then transforming, but it's, believe it or not, pretty hard to get this thing to flip. I do not know why. I think it's because I run 2 enchantments and then a handful of creatures. Delver is a lot harder to flip in this deck than I've had in the past. Like usually this card's really easy for me to flip. I've seen people struggle flipping it. It's a bit of a luck card. You need a little bit of luck on your side for this to be perfect. Still though, I still think it's worth running in this deck. I think it's a fantastic card. If it does flip, you're going to run away with the game very, very fast. But Delver, a very good card. Not too sure how we can do anything different to get it flipping a little bit quicker, but I do believe these 2 enchantments are very important for the game. The other 2 creatures I chose are Fairy Vandal and Ledger Shredder. The idea behind that is the Fairy Vandal, obviously, with combat research, and then Ivy, copying combat research, you're drawing a lot of cards. Also, Ledger Shredder being a conniving ability on this card, it allows you to draw extra cards for Fairy Vandal too. So the Fairy Vandal's always growing, right? Here's where I went wrong. Here's where I want to discuss. I think there's a much better card to place in this deck. Ledger Shredder is not the call. Ledger Shredder is definitely not the call. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take out Ledger Shredder. Trust me on this one. Normally I say, hey, you can do this, but this is a much better play, I'd say. I've played with the Storm Chaser Drake in the place of Ledger Shredder. It's the exact same amount of mana. It's a flying creature. Same thing, right? But with this card, you're drawing way more cards, because with the Ledger Shredder, there's a little bit more hoops you have to jump through, right? You have to play 2 spells in a single turn to draw an extra card. Plus, your opponent has to play 2 spells for you to draw extra cards on their turn, and you need to draw 2 extra cards, or you need to draw an extra card per turn for Fairy Vandal to work. So on the opponent's turn, it's hard to get the Fairy Vandal to grow. But if you have a thing like a Drake on the field and you target it with like any spell whatsoever, you're drawing an extra card. You're more likely to draw a lot more cards with the Drake, especially with the combat research. Like you target a combat research onto the Drake, and then you attack with it. That's 2 cards in 1 transaction for 1 single spell. There's just a lot more card draw happening with the Drake than there is with the Ledger Shredder. I feel like with the Ledger Shredder, it's a little bit more hoops you got to jump through. So change that out. Trust me, I've had a lot more success with this deck since then. The spells that I chose to play, obviously combat research and security bypass, we talked about a lot, because we want to be drawing a lot of cards, right? And security bypass and combat research both do that. But what's really cool too is the Ivy, it doesn't say instant sorcery speed spells. It also copies these enchantments that you're attaching onto your creatures as well. So it also gets these attachments, and those are permanent effects that it can benefit from. So that's really cool. And of course, we went with the whole play set of all the protection spells you can ask for, just in case different things happen. Obviously, Shore Up and Tameo Safekeeping take care of most of the things, but as far as sacrificing and exiling effects, Slip Out the Back's the only way to go with protecting your creature. So it's important to have that. And then Massive Might, we have a 4 of, because this is going to be our game-winning card. If we can attach this onto like a 5 Fairy Vandal, and then Ivy gets the copy as well, you're typically at that point in the game going to be able to run through them and close it out. But really fun deck, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was very powerful. Again, I've been using this thing to rank up currently on the ladder. I've got a pretty good win rate with it. So I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm glad you guys watched this video again all the way through. It means the world to me. Housekeeping. I don't think there's any housekeeping. I think we already addressed it yesterday. If you weren't here, I'm not going to be in the early access event. Couldn't get an answer back on the email. So not going to have the new cards till Tuesday, which means there won't be any videos Monday and Tuesday because of really there's no point. So I'll be taking a break this weekend, a much needed break this weekend with the family. And yeah, we'll be back at it again on Wednesday. Don't worry though, there are videos tomorrow and Friday. I don't want that to be misleading. I've already recorded those, so those are done. They're pretty cool. But with that being said, huge shout out to the Marty Mob as always, man. Shout out to the Marty Mob. If you guys don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program here on the channel, and these guys help support the channel with their monthly membership. So I got to give them a huge thank you and shout out to them for everything they do in supporting me, man. It means more than they will ever know with the support that they've constantly been giving me. And you know, it keeps the channel alive and keeps us working towards some really great dreams and goals, man. So thank you for everything. I do appreciate it. And I think with that being said though, guys, we'll see you back here again tomorrow. And oh, it's Wednesday when this comes out. I'm so sorry. There's a live stream tonight. Come by on the live stream. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you want, just hit the notification bell. It'll tell you when I go live. But yeah, that'll do it, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out, and thanks for sticking all the way to the end. Until next time, though, peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.